Hey traders, it's John Howell here again with you, and in this video I'm going to talk about some mindset things, mindset strategies, mindsets, some things that go under the umbrella of a mindset of a successful person in general, okay? Now I'll start off this video with this screenshot here. I saw this screenshot a little while ago, so I thought I'd add this to today's educational video for you. And the sign says, or the image says, sometimes the smallest step in the right direction ends up being the biggest step of your life. Tiptoe if you must, but take the step. And I find when it comes to mindset is such a big area. You know, you've got how to control fears, how to take the appropriate action. What is the appropriate action? Responsibilities, persistence. You know, there's how do you look at the market, how do you approach the market, what is the right way of thinking when in the market, you know, over trading. There's a lot of different things when it comes to trading the markets, and you know that's what I really go through and really help people when it actually goes through to my coaching program. Is I really help them through week by week basis. I really help them overcome and help them develop the mindset of a successful trader or successful person in general. You know, but you know, there's you know, I find here's the thing is that if we can have a big enough dream, if we can have a big enough vision behind us, then a lot of these things when it comes to the mindset, they really start to get overtaken by that vision, by that dream that we have. And you know, I saw a video on YouTube a while ago. This is not my video, I don't have this. But I saw this video on YouTube a while ago, and so I'm going to put this onto this video. So let's actually watch this short little clip here, and then we're going to come back and I'm going to start walking through the top 3 things that how successful traders approach and look at the market. So let me show you this video first, and then we'll go back into and we'll keep looking at we'll keep going through this presentation.
I don't know what that dream is that you have. I don't care how disappointing it might have been as you've been working toward that dream. That dream that you're holding in your mind, that it's possible. That some of you already know that it's hard. It's not easy. It's hard changing your life. That in the process of working on your dreams, you are going to incur a lot of disappointment, a lot of failure, a lot of pain. There are moments when you're going to doubt yourself and say, God, why is this happening to me? I'm just trying to take care of my children and my mother. I'm not trying to steal or rob from anybody. Why did this have to happen to me? For those of you that have experienced some hardships, don't give up on your dream. There are rough times are going to come, but they have not come to stay. They have come to pass.
Greatness is not this wonderful, esoteric, elusive, God-like feature that only the special among us will ever taste. You know, it's something that truly exists in all of us.
It's very important for you to believe that you are the one. Most people, they raise a family, they earn a living, and then they die. They stop growing, they stop working on themselves, they stop stretching, they stop pushing themselves. That a lot of people like to complain, but they don't want to do anything about their situation. And most people don't work on their dreams. Why? One is because of fear. The fear of failure. What if things don't work out? And the fear of success. What if they do and I can't handle it? These are not risk takers.
You spend so much time with other people. You spend so much time trying to get people to like you. You know other people more than you know yourself. You studied them. You know about them. You want to hang out like them. You want to be just like them. And you know what? You've invested so much time in them, you don't know who you are. I challenge you to spend time by yourself.
It's necessary that you get the losers out of your life if you want to live your dream. But people who are running toward their dreams, life has a special kind of meaning.
When you become the right person, what you do is you start separating yourself from other people. You begin to have a certain uniqueness. As long as you following other people, as long as you being a copycat, you will never ever be the best copycat in the world. But you will be the best you could be. I'm challenging you to define your value.
That everybody won't see it, that everybody won't join you, that everybody won't have the vision. It's necessary to know that you are an uncommon breed. It's necessary that you align yourself with people and attract people into your business who are hungry, people who are unstoppable and unreasonable, people who are refusing to leave life just as it is and who want more. The people that are living their dream of finding winners to attach themselves to. The people that are living their dreams are the people that know that if it's going to happen, it's up to them.
If you want to be more successful, if you want to have and do stuff you ain't never done before, number two, I'm asking you to invest in you. To invest in you.
Someone's opinion of you does not have to become your reality. That you don't have to go through life being a victim. And even though you face disappointments, you have to know within yourself that I can do this. Even if no one else sees it for me, I must see it for myself.
This is what I believe, and I'm willing to die for it. Period.
No matter how bad it is or how bad it gets, I'm going to make it.
I want to represent an idea. I want to represent possibilities.
And some of you right now, you want to be, you know what I'm saying, you want to go to the next level. I want to counsel, I want to be an engineer, I want to be a doctor. Listen to me, you can't get to that level. You can't get to the level economically where you want to be until you start investing in your mind. You're not reading books. I'm challenging y'all to go to conferences. I dare you to invest time. I dare you to be alone. I dare you to spend an hour getting to know yourself. When you become who you are, when you become the person that you were created to be, designed to be who you were designed to be, when you become an individual, what you do is you take yourself and you start separating yourself from other people. I challenge you to get to a place where people don't like you, it don't even bother you no more. Why? Because you're not concerned with trying to make them happy, because you're trying to blow up. You're trying to get to the next level. I need you to invest in your mind. Invest in your mind. If you still talking about your dream, if you still talking about your goal, but you have not done anything, just take the first step.
That you can make your parents proud, you can make your school proud, you can touch millions of people's lives, and the world will never be the same again because you came this way. Don't let nobody steal your dream. After we face a rejection and a no, or we have a meeting and no one shows up, or somebody say, you can count on me, and they don't come through. What if we have that kind of attitude? The car's repossessed. Nobody believes in you. You've lost again and again and again. The lights are cut off, but you're still looking at your dream, reviewing it every day and say to yourself, it's not over until I win. You can live your dream.
So there we have it. You can see that, really, I understand your pain and I understand your journey. I understand where you're trying to go, and we are all on a journey here. Just because I'm trading really well and I'm making really good money from the markets doesn't mean my life is perfect, you know what I mean? But when we're actually trading and actually looking at the markets in general, there's some certain things we can actually do while actually approaching the markets as well. But the very first thing is I wanted to show you that video because I thought it's quite powerful, right? Really, really powerful, because I find that if we can have a big enough dream that is so compelling, just like, man, I really, really, really want this, and not just some flimsy thing, but something that just consumes most of your thought during the day, I find that alone can really help you nudge everything when it comes to mindset, because mindset is really just literally overcoming fears, the ability to take action. Overcoming fears, that's easy when you really want something bad enough. Take action, again, that's easy when you want something bad enough. Have a responsibility, again, have a responsibility is just accepting for the actions you take, and accepting where you are right now is based on the actions you've taken in the past. And if you want different actions moving forward, you got to start taking different actions. And that's why, like I say with my weekly coaching program, as you know, I've been talking about through this whole process here, this whole video series, is that when we're actually talking about taking action. Most people take action, they buy a lot of education, but that's it. So, but if you know yourself, right, if you want to be successful in the markets, then it's all about getting the coaching as well. And I'll talk more about that at the end of this video. But there's so many things under the umbrella when it comes to the successful being mindset. Successful trader or successful person in general that we can talk about. Okay, but as I said before, that mindset is such a big area to cover when trying to be successful. Okay, there is so many things that I could talk about, but in this video here personally, I'm going to walk you through one key area when it comes to trading itself. You see, I really feel for people that are trying to get ahead and trying to move forward and trying to make this thing work. One of the things that I see is just people are not committed enough. You know what I mean? Like I remember when I first started trading and I first started getting into it, I just went straight into it and I lost my shirt. I was $250,000 in debt, and then I went and borrowed even more money to get into more coaching, and that was my turning point. But so many people are not committed enough to actually get the coaching or move forward. You know what I mean? In what they're doing, like they say they're committed, but they're half in there, half out, and they're either rushing too fast or they're not taking enough action. There's definitely a balance there, and that's the reason why I say, if you're serious about getting into the markets and seriously train the markets, and have me as your coach, because I'm going to teach you the appropriate actions you're going to be taking every week to move forward. And I'm going to be there to make sure that you don't rush too fast, and everything else we talk about when it comes to successful in the markets. Okay. And how successful traders look at the market, and most of all, how they approach the market. And that's exactly what I'm going to cover in this video here. Okay. So let's actually get straight into this here. How successful traders approach a market and look at the market. And this is something I was thinking about. I thought, you know what? There's a lot of things to success, right? There's a lot of things that overcome this umbrella. Having confidence, have responsibility, being persistent, never giving up, being committed, taking action every day. Even when you're tired, you just do the action. You know what I mean? And there's so many things, confidence and doing things on a deliberate action, and having what's actually coming into your mind, which is affecting your actions, and all these different things, which I actually teach, by the way, in my coaching. I teach all these different things in my coaching, so you fully understand the umbrella of this. You know what I mean? But I thought this video, I don't want this video to go way too long. But what are some things that I can really teach you that's really going to help you move forward? So I thought, here are the top 3 things, okay? 3 top things that you can look at, or how successful traders approach and look at the market, okay? So number 1 is they always look at the risk versus reward in every trade. For me personally, when I'm trading the markets, I'm always saying this. I'm always saying, okay, my potential outcome or my outcome in this position, am I going for a 1-to-1 risk to reward ratio? And in most cases, no, in all cases, if that's a yes for me, meaning it's a 1-to-1 risk to reward ratio, meaning like if I'm trading options, and if I'm trading options, and I'm looking for a 30% profit or a 30% reward, then it's not going to be good enough for me, because on the second step we're going to talk about in a minute, we're always looking for the probability. But the risk to reward is every single trade. You want to say, okay, then the system that I'm trading right now, am I getting at least 2-to-1 risk to reward ratio, or should I say reward to risk ratio? Meaning, is my profit at least twice the size, twice the depth of my stop? And if so, then that's where we should be focusing on, right? Because we want to be in a situation where even if we only get 50-50, we start trading the system horribly, and we only get 50-50, then we still want to be in front. Makes sense, right? And so that's where you want to start trading. And when you can start trading like you learned, like the ultimate trading system, and you learned like the blast off system, those systems can sometimes get you 3, 4, 5 times as much as your stop. And now we're talking about a ridiculous amount of profits being made because you're sticking to a system that's going to give you those profits. You know what I mean? I remember trading the E-mini futures and tick charts, and I was after like 4 tick profit for 4 tick stop, and it was just pulling teeth. You know what I mean? Because if you had 1 or 2 or 3 losers in a row, then suddenly you had to have 1 or 2 or 3, even 4 wins in a row to make your money back and be in profit because you had all the fees and charges as brokerage. Makes sense? So that was like, man, there's got to be a better way of approaching the market. So every single setup you look at, how successful is that? Saying, okay, where's my stop and where's my reward? Now I understand. What I do understand is this. I understand that when you're trading the markets, that your stop is always not going to be that big of a stop. You know what I mean? Like, for example, me trading options, like if I set a 30% stop, or it's around about a 30% stop, I know that sometimes I'm going to get out at a 5 or 10% stop because of certain things happening in the trade. You know what I mean? Maybe the trade's not going nowhere. I've been in the trade for a little while and it's not doing much. So I'm just going to get out with a small loss. You know what I mean? Or if it's a profit target, I might have a profit target, say, call it at 80%. And if my profit target is 80% or a certain price, if it's almost at my certain price that I want to get out, and it's not at 80% and it's maybe at 70%, well then sometimes I'll take it off and just get out of the trade. Makes sense? So what I'm saying is, you're not always going to have a strict, 30% stop as an example, 30% stop and then an 80% profit. You're not always going to have that. You know what I mean? You need to be flexible with the market and then take what the market's going to give you, but allowing the trade to do its thing as well without being too greedy. Makes sense? So when we're actually trading, we're always looking at that risk to reward ratio. And again, it's all about on average, what are we looking at? As long as we're keeping those losses small and we let the wins go, you'll be okay. I gave this example on I think it was the very first video I moved out on this launch. And in the 13 biggest mistakes, what I talked about was when I did Auto Trader. I ran Auto Trader and my first 4 or 5 trades were actually losers. But because I had good stop and good trade management, as you learned in the last video about trade management, because I had good trade management, I was able to get out with literally a 5% loss, a 10% loss, a 7% loss, a 6% loss, a 15% loss. You know what I mean? Like, these were the ranges, and maybe even a 20% loss. Is this making sense? So I had like maybe 4 or 5 losers in a row for starters. But when you're getting a 20% loss, a 30%, a 20% loss, a 10% loss, a 5% loss, a 6% loss, those losses in total, I might have had 5 stop outs in a row, but those losses in total might have only been around about 50-60%. Now 50-60% of that trade position, not 50 to 60%, not 50 to 60%, 60% of the account. You know what I mean? So in total, my traders and who I was actually trading for in my own account, by doing that, our account was only down about small percent, right? Because the money management and trade management, which we talked about in the last video, right? But as an example, as I was saying, back to the story, was that I had 4 or 5 losers in a row, but because of my stop, okay, because of my stops were 10%, 5%, 20%, stuff like that. I think I had 5 losers in a row, and over about 50-60%. Of the 50-60% of the particular trade positions being down. You know what I mean? As in, like, because I know some of you think 50-60% down on the account. No, that's not on the account. Okay, the way I was doing is I was trading 5% of their account. So if they had a $10,000 account, I was only trading $500, and then we're talking about literally 50-60% of the $500. Makes sense? So now we're looking at maybe 2.5% of their account. I hope that clears it up there. I know some people are going to say, wow, there's so much risk there. No, it's not. If you look at it right, I only trade for me when I was trading Auto Trader, I only trade 5% of the account. Okay, then it was 50-60% of that 5%, which is, again, like 2.5% in the account total. I just wanted to clear that up. So anyway, what happened is because I was only down, call it in total, right? In total, which was 50-60% of the 5%. Again, trading $500, and call the numbers even, which is $250. Okay, that's 50%. That's what the traders' accounts were down. Now, by having good trade management and by having a good risk to reward ratio and keeping those losses small, 5 losing trades in a row, and your whole total account is only down now about $250 to $300 in total. Okay, in total, including fees and charges. Out of a $10,000, that's not a bad case scenario, right? So, and that's what happened to me. But guess what? My very next trade, I made a 60% profit. So that wiped out most of my, that was about a 60% profit. That wiped out most of the losses. Okay, and the count was just down just slightly. And the next win was, the next trade was around about an 80% profit. And guess what? Boom, I'm back in the green now. So that means I had 5 losses, 2 wins. And because I had good risk-reward ratio and good trade management, now that allowed me to be able to trade the markets, get out earlier, and know that when the wins come, they're going to come good, and I'm going to make good money. Is this making sense so far? So this is how successful traders look at the market, and I hope you really understand that one thing now when it comes to it, okay? And that's where having me as your coach, that's where I'm always there looking at your trades every week saying, you know what, you need to be getting out earlier here, or you need to be holding on earlier here. This is the risk to reward ratio, that it's not a set in stone thing. You know what I mean? Like, you have your boundaries of saying, okay, I'm looking for a maximum of 30% profit. Sorry, 30% stop, as an example. I'm looking for a maximum of 80%, maximum 80% profit. But hey, what if you have a price target and it actually gets to that price target, you actually might be a lot more in profit. I've been many times where, you know, I get to a target and I'm actually over 100% return. Okay, so anyway, so I hope you get the point I'm trying to say there, is that if you can have good trade management and good stop management as well, okay, taking care of the risk, okay, and make sure the risk is small every single time you get in there. Make sure when you enter every single trade, saying, okay, then what is my risk on this trade? Okay, what is my risk? And so by looking at that and by doing things which is going to protect the risk and let the profits let the profits take care of itself and take care of the risk, is that you could start to see your account going up. And again, through my weekly coaching, which you've been hearing about, I actually help you and I walk you through this, and that's exactly what I showed through Auto Trader. So number 2 was actually looking at the probability. So the thing is that I don't care how good your risk reward ratio is, that if you don't have at least some probability behind you, then you're running a race of just getting your head handed to you. You know what I mean? So it's important to have some sort of probability. And how I did this at the start, or after my first couple of years of blowing myself out of the water, then going back into the market, is I went and did a whole bunch of back testing. And I did a whole bunch of back testing on all these different systems. And I found which one I liked the best, or a couple of ones which I liked the best, and I started trading those. And I said, okay, then over the last 5-6 years, I think it was about that. Sometimes I did it. Sometimes I was thinking. I think I did even like 10 years of back testing. Like, I did a lot of back testing with all these different systems. I think I spent like 2 months, right? 2 months back testing. Like, I think it was something like 5 or 6 different systems from memory. And I just spent hours and hours and hours backtesting and putting out spreadsheets together, you know what I mean? And looking at the stop and looking at the reward and all this sort of stuff that I've been taught by my coaches. And so I did all this backtesting, and I saw, okay, out of these 5 systems, these 2 systems seem to be the most highest probability. And the worst case scenario of the last 6 years on bullish markets, bearish markets, and so on and so forth, the worst case scenario was this. You know what I mean? And so if I knew my worst case scenario over the year, all right, and I looked at the average amount of trades, that have been taken over the last 6 years, then I look at that. Okay, then I look at that. So what I like to do is this. I like to say, okay, then what was the worst case scenario? As in, like, what was the worst probability, as in success rate overall for the last 5 or 6 or 10 years, if you can. Okay, what was the worst? Let's base our results on that. And also, what was the least amount of number of trades that have been taken over the last 5 to 10 years? So now we're looking at the worst case scenario for this one particular system. We're looking at the lowest win-loss ratio over the last 5 to 10 years. And we're looking at the least number of trades. So therefore, it's just a numbers game, right? It is simply just a numbers game when you look at it. And so when I'm trading, I'm saying, okay, then I know I'm going to get at least, and for me personally, I know I'm likely to get at least 40 to 50 different really good high quality setups for the ultimate trading system. Okay, I know if I do my homework properly and do my analysis properly, I'm going to get anywhere between 40 and 50, that's on the that's sort of on the low end there. Low end, absolutely lowest is about 30 per year, really good quality setups, 30 per year, but that ranges anywhere between the 30 and 50 mark, somewhere around about there, you know what I mean? That I absolutely know that I'm going to get good quality setups, and I know my risk to reward ratio on those things, and therefore I can move forward. You know what I mean? Now, it doesn't sound like a lot of trades, but the thing is, when you start trading a good amount of money, you don't need a lot of trades to do really well. And that's what all the process is. Now, when you start trading, literally when you start trading, 2 or 3 systems that are like that are getting like 50 trades per year, you start trading 2 or 3 systems, you're trading 150 times a year. Makes sense? And it's all about having the numbers and having the probability scenario behind you, okay? And 3, professional traders and successful traders look at the market as a numbers game. As I said before, my auto trader, right? I knew it was just a numbers game. I was going through 4 or 5 losing trades in a row with the auto trader, and I knew as a successful trader I was doing the right thing because I was stepping up to the trades and I was keeping my losses short. And I knew that all it took was 1 or 2 good wins and I was back in the green again. Make sense? And so by looking at that, okay, and by looking at the market like that, and by trading it that way, these are the top 3 things that you absolutely must, without a doubt, need to be focusing on. And I hope that these little 3 things here, or 3 big things, no, not really little, the 3 big things: the risk, the reward, the probability, and the numbers game. And I hope that the stories behind and the examples that I've given you are showing you what's going on. And now remember, number 3, numbers game. Number 3 and number 2 all sort of going together. Numbers game simply means this: probability doesn't show up in a trading system over 5 or 10 trades. No, probability is taking over 100 trades. You know what I mean? So if you could take 100 trades, that's the probability of that system. Make sense? And I guarantee you that if all you took is just the ultimate trading system, and that's all you traded, and you stuck to it every single time, and you made sure that you kept your losses small, and you know what, and then and when the market did start taking off, then you just let it go, and you made some good profits, I guarantee you'll be successful in markets, right? Anyone out there that literally can't afford to get into my coaching and it's not accepted in my coaching, just take what you're learning from these things here, and you will be successful, right? And if you're not successful, then it's your fault there, okay? It's your own issue. But the reason why most people are not successful is because they literally don't have the coach there. And as I was saying before, this is just 3 parts of the mindset. I have almost 10 hours of training in the members area for my private clients, my private coaching clients, and I literally walk them through and I teach them these things as well. Make sense? So that's what the whole coaching is all about. And I hope you can understand that mindset when you start looking at the market a different way, the risk to reward, the probability of this. It's a numbers game, and stepping up and things like taking care of the risk, making sure that your risk is very, very small, the smallest you can get, and then moving on. Makes sense? That's what it's all about, because I know for myself right now, the way that I'm trading, I can have around about a 15 to 20% win-loss ratio and still make really good money. Because out of if you look at, say, 10 trades, I know out of 8 trades, right? Out of my 8 trades, my average loss is around about 10 or 15%, right? Out of 8 trades. Now I know that, but my average win right now is over 100% profit, right? So if call the number simple, right? I know that my average loss for 8 trades is 10%. What is that? That's 80%, right? That's 80% gone out of 8 trades. But I know my average win is over 100%. So literally, right? I could have 9 losses in a row, which is like 90%, right? Including fees and charges, and have 1 win and still be almost break even. 2 wins and I'm back in the green again. That's how my trading is done. Makes sense? And so, but obviously my success rate is not 20%, it's more like 70%. But you see how this sort of grows and grows and grows on itself. And me as your coach and mentor, that's what I help you and walk you through, okay? But here's the facts. Getting a successful mindset is a never-ending process, okay? It's an absolute never-ending process. You have to spend time continually educating yourself. And that's why some people are like, oh, I bought this educational program and that's all I need and I'm going to be successful for the rest of my life. No, it's all about reading books. It's all about getting coaching on a continuous basis. Why is it that people that are the most successful in this life have coaches? Is because they're continuing to better themselves, and they know that they can't see everything. They know that they can't see everything when it comes to when it comes to trading the markets and the mistakes and what they need to be improving on. Makes sense. But if a coach there, then that's what it's all about. So if you've liked this mindset training and you're looking for more training like this, and get me as your personal coach, then click on the link below right now, and that will go over to another video which talks more about who I am personally and what the coaching program is all about. Okay, so anyway, this is the end of this presentation today. I really hope that this has been a big eye opener for you. Okay, not only about having the big dream there and vision, but that vision really can help you move forward. But remember, this mindset is such a big thing, and that's the reason why it's important to get me as your coach, because I've been there and I've done that, and I'll continue to do that right now, moving forward in a big way. Okay, and I hope that the top 3 things that we walk through today, risk to reward, probability, and numbers game, I hope they're just some things to help you start getting ahead and start looking at the market differently than most people out there. When we're not looking at, I need 1 trade per day, or I need 1 trade per week, or I need to make $100 a day, or I need to make $100 a week. You know, that's not successful trading, right? Successful trading is waiting for the trades to come, protecting your downside to make sure you're getting your losses as small as possible, letting your wins run, and doing it through there, right? But it's so hard to do that when you're just by yourself in front of the screen. But by having me as your coach, every single week looking over your trades, you're going to get better and better and better and better at it. You're going to start cutting your losses short. You're going to start letting your wins run, and things are going to start working out for you. Make sense? So that's why it's so important to have me as a coach. Anyway, right now I think I only have around about 1 spot left. Okay, so I'm pretty sure there's one guy that's signing up. He's just got to complete the sign up phase. But after that, then there's only 1 spot left. So I hope that over all these videos I've shown you so far, including the mindset, including everything, that literally I'm a person who really understands the market and really understands how to approach the market on a much more deeper level than most other companies, most other traders out there. And if you really do see me as a person that really knows what I'm talking about, and you know me, and now you're getting used to me, and you can actually trust me, then click on that link below right now. It's going to take you over to a video. It's going to walk you through about who I am personally and my backstory and how I got involved with the markets. Plus, it's also going to talk to you about the coaching. Okay, but I hope that this video alone is really gonna give you the push to say, you know what, I really do need coaching. I really needed someone there helping me continue moving me forward, because it's not all about giving the mindset and teaching the mindset and continue moving forward with the mindset, but it's all about cutting those losses short, letting the wins run, and continue making yourself better and better and better and better at it. Makes sense? And by having me as your coach there every single week, you're just gonna keep getting a little bit better and a little bit better and a little bit better, a little bit better. Okay, and even if you're only getting 2 or 3% better each week, right? That's okay. Why? Because then 2 weeks you're getting 6% better. Then 4 weeks you're getting 12% better. Then 2 weeks you're getting 24% better, right? And then 8 weeks, and then so 2 months, and then what do you know it? After say 6 or 7 months, you're now 50% better than you were before. And then after a year, now you're 100% better than you were before, and it continues moving forward and moving forward and moving forward there, right? But what I've experienced by having the coach now, you're likely to start making massive progress, because I'm there every single week, as I said before, with me and you personally on Skype, walking you through all your trades, walking you through everything you've done, and so I can really help you move forward. Okay. Anyway, guys, this is John Howell here. As I said before, I'm pretty sure right now I only got 1 spot left to my coaching, and then that's it. I'm going to shut it down and just focus on those on the inside, and then that'll be it for the rest of the year. I won't be offering any more products. Maybe an interview or something, or maybe something small, but not when it comes to coaching or my trading or my software or anything like that. If you want access to any or my coaching or my education material and everything that's inside the members area, a lot more than what you're seeing here, plus the software you learned in one of the videos in this launch as well too. This is going to be your last chance to get it. Okay, I have one more video, and the video is going to be talking about the wrap up and a lot of other things as well too. So anyway, guys, this is John Howell here, and remember, success can be yours if you go claim it. So step up, take massive action, and face your fears today.